Now I turn to my friend, Senator Johnson.
Well, thank you, Senator Grass. And again, I want to thank you and your staff's dedication over many, many years of championing whistleblower protections and actually protecting whistleblowers. And the result of that, just so the public understands, is whistleblowers feel very comfortable coming to Senator Grassley's office, and the public is made aware of things that the public deserves to know because of his efforts. Yeah, I certainly want to thank the whistleblowers testifying here today. A couple of weeks ago, we held a roundtable with additional whistleblowers that described how the federal government, HHS, knowingly is rushing, passing, and transferring unaccompanied children to supposedly sponsors who are undocumented, who the government knows full well are probably, in many cases, part of a transnational criminal organization that traffics humans, sex trafficking. And they're doing that because one of the whistleblowers was reported saying is the federal government doesn't get sued by traffickers. They just get sued if they hold on to these children too long because of the Flores settlement. So today's roundtable is talking about how the federal government is not following the law in terms of collecting DNA samples on people coming to this country illegally. Now, there's a couple reasons that we would want to do that. And the obvious ones are we want to try and catch criminals if we know about them to prevent crime. It certainly helps us solve crimes because we have these fabulous databases now. Once you get the DNA sample, you can match that with other DNA taking part of the crime. Again, to catch that criminal, to solve the crime so it doesn't create more crimes. My involvement as Chairman of Homeland Security in terms of DNA testing involved more of what has sparked all these crises now at our border, this flood of people. And I just want to quick tell the story, if you can indulge me a little bit, because most people don't understand why we have these crises. It really all began, the catalyst was the Deferred Action on Childhood Arrivals. That was the improper use of prosecutorial discretion, deciding not to prosecute hundreds of thousands of people who came to this country illegally. Children. The result of that is the human traffickers were able to communicate in Central America and elsewhere around the world that American immigration law has changed. And if you get into America now, you're going to be handed a white slip. They call it a permiso. That's not what it was. It was a notice to appear. But the reality of the situation is people started flooding this country. And I think it's 2014, President Obama declared a humanitarian crisis when we were encountering 2,000 people a day. Jay Johnson said it was a really bad day for CBP. It was 1,000 a day. Well, under the Biden administration, we've had December 10,000 a day average. One day, 14,000. But to get back to my story, President Obama, with his humanitarian crisis, started detaining families with their children. He was sued, and there was a court decision that reinterpreted the Flores decision, the Flores settlement, that required DHS to turn over, find a sponsor, no longer detain unaccompanied children after 20 days. And the reinterpretation of that said that included children accompanied by their parents. And so the Obama administration was put in a very untenable position of saying, well, if we want to detain the parents who've come to this country illegally, we still have to turn the children over to foster care, start separating families, which the Obama administration understandably and justifiably didn't want to do. So what that resulted in is fake families. We had testimony in the committee room, the Homeland Security Committee room in June of 2019, that they were selling children. We had a 51-year-old illegal immigrant confess that he actually bought a infant boy for $84 to have a fake family so he could exploit our asylum laws under that Flores reinterpretation. So that now you come in with a child, the family units were allowed in this country. And that is what has sparked these massive waves of illegal immigration. And so the fact that DHS just refuses it, and here's the real question I'm going to have, is why do career DHS personnel refuse to do what Eric Holder said was going to do after a year of just getting their act together, to do DNA testing to make sure that these actually are family units and not trafficked children? It just boggles my mind. So again, I'll end now. I've rambled on for really far too long. But again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your dogged determination to, first of all, protect whistleblowers, but also do the oversight in these areas that just lead to untold human depredation, untold human suffering that our federal government is turning a blind eye towards. So again, I just commend you, Senator Grassley, and the whistleblowers for coming forward. The American public needs to understand this so that we can stop it. Because there's just all kinds of horrible things, inhumane things happening to human beings because our federal government refuses to acknowledge the truth. So thanks, Senator Grassley.
Thank you, Senator Johnson. We cooperate on so many things, and this is just a small part of our cooperation.